Welcome to Your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 917. If you are writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing your book, but you need some help getting it done, you are in the right place. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, look for Christine Inc., like that stuff we write with. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 20 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they even have the ability to turn someone who barely, maybe sorta, sees themselves as a writer into a published book author. Those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. We can reframe our life stories not by the things we expect to happen, but by what we learn from the things that do happen. That quote is actually by me, by yours truly. It's related to an article, actually a modified excerpt of an article that I'd like to share with you today, something I contributed to a website called smarthustle.com, I think within the last year or so. And make sure you check the show notes for a link to the complete article. For most of us, the last 2 years, you might agree, have presented at least some level of personal and professional challenges. Some of you are still fighting your way bravely through an obstacle course full of financial and emotional hardship. How can you turn your challenges of this time, these last couple of years, into future success stories? The answer is found in your story of resilience, something you've undoubtedly had to tap into in order to keep going. Here are my 5 tips for telling your story of resilience, especially in the context of representing yourself as an author, your books, and your author brand, even if we're talking future tense about your books and brand. Here's 5 ways of crafting your story of resilience. Number 1, be authentic. Portraying yourself as a complete 3-dimensional person, not just your pitch, can be a reader magnet. Number 2, share stories with detailed takeaways of how you have overcome these obstacles in your life in the last couple of years. This provides instant actionable value to your audience, and people remember value, especially when you are persuading them to take action later on, as in buying your book or products related to your book. So share stories with detailed takeaways, provide value to your audience. Number 3, see how you can align your resilience lessons with your readers' problems and their own challenges. How can the lessons you learned during this time help your audience with the problems they deal with every day? The next tip, what is the most effective content form through which to share your resilience story? This means having an understanding of where your readers are looking for which types of content from you, like social media, blog, email. And really, unless you have information to the contrary, my rule of thumb would be start with your blog or your email list and then expand from there. And finally, here is a structure for telling the story of each challenge you've faced over the past couple of years. First, pick a challenge that you have faced and overcome, or you're in the process of overcoming. Next, how did you push through it rather than quit in the face of it? Answer that question. How did you push through this challenge rather than quit in the face of it? Next, what did you learn about yourself by displaying resilience? And finally, how could you make this lesson actionable for others? How could you turn it into content to connect with your audience? Share the honest reality of your story and resilience lessons from the heart without holding back or self-censoring. Sharing your story is not selfish. It is an act of service, one of connection. Sharing it in a book is the most powerful example of that, and I'm going to share more about that in tomorrow's episode, so make sure you tune in tomorrow, Friday, October 22nd. And again, check the show notes for a link to the complete article, as well as a link, as always, to my Inc. Authors group on Facebook if you'd like me to post my tips or have any questions or feedback for me. I know it was like a lot of information today, so if you'd like me to post the tips, or like I said, the article is in the show notes as well. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I am helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. Until tomorrow, happy writing.